and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pood. I say welcome back, but this is the first time we're doing a live. We already did a pre-recorded one that we did last week. Check that one out on the YouTube. But the Pood, this is a podcast for the CRL. Still working on the title, still working on the graphics. Hey, thank you, Jims, for making these graphics, by the way.
You're
Love that.
very, very
Did a
welcome.
great job. Did an amazing
nice
job.
artistic touch.
Hey, we got a squad though today. I'm CNK, joined by Jake, joined by Jims, joined by Dapper. We also got a special guest to talk about the Diamond playoffs.
I mean, it's going to be a good podcast, no doubt about it. I mean, we got a lot to talk about today. We got our special guest, like you said, CNK. We got Logan Gear on the podcast today. Logan, tell us how you're doing on this fine Monday. First CRL stream on a Monday in a while. How are you feeling?
Yo, what's good, boys? Appreciate y'all having me on. It's a good Monday, you know, as good as Monday can be. But I'm excited for playoffs, and we got some good Diamond stuff to talk about.
Hey, the Diamond division, the top division in the CRLs, obviously always going to be a fun one. But boys, we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about in this podcast for you here between the CRL, HRL, VRL, you name it. Got a lot going on, including, I mean, we got all the playoffs starting here for CRL, but kick things off with the Diamond division. I mean, look at this bracket we got coming up for you here. Matty Ice going to pull that up. Shout out to the producer, Matty Ice himself. I mean, look at this run that some of these teams have made. Sin City Slayers making it all the way to those grand finals, going to have to play the New York Lightning or the Green Bay Goats. And I just want to hear, Logan Gear, how are we feeling about the season? You're right now in loser finals. You would say, in my opinion, personal opinion, you were the favorite team coming into this. I know you guys barely lost to the Paris Renegades. Who cares? Who cares? But how are we feeling?
Oh, what man? I mean, last two matches went flawlessly, 2-3-0s back to back. We had a little rough patch there to start the playoffs off, but we got back on our rails, and we've been hitting strides ever since. So I'm excited to get this next match going. Obviously, it's been pushed back like a week, but we finally got a time and a date. So this Wednesday we will be taking on the New York Lightning.
Double elim is never happening again.
I mean, me, James. There was a lot of back and forth on like how the bracket should work out, a lot of like confusion. But to go back to it, I mean, like Logan said, we had kind of a rough start. We kind of touched on it a little bit in the last podcast, but slow start for us. We come back, make it back to losers finals. I think the big surprise for everybody has been how good the Sin City Slayers have looked in this playoff so far. I mean, they start off, they take down the Houston Warthogs. They take down us, which I think was a surprise to a lot of people, and they take down the New York Lightning as well in a stellar Game 5. I mean, that series was quite the one to watch. But they've been looking so good. They've been stealing some hard points, and their 2-3-5s are locked down as always.
Got that full-on Neslo going whenever possible, right? If you can always win the S&Ds and you're doing a good job in those controls, I mean, you're going to be a tough team to beat, especially over in Diamond. But, I mean, so far it's been a pretty crazy, like, Diamond bracket, like, playout, right? Because obviously the first seed and the second seed getting beat fairly early on, right? Obviously, like, you guys in the Green Bay Goats, sorry, guys. I know I have to say it, but you're my favorite team. But losing in your first round there of winners, and then also, like, Paris losing as well, and being the number 1 and number 2 seed getting knocked out right away into losers is pretty wild, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Logan, tell me what you think. Like this bracket did not go the way we planned. I don't know about you. I mean, what do you think was the most surprising for you, or what were you thinking like the whole time going? It's like, what was your thought process like through this whole Diamond season, like from the beginning to now?
I mean, obviously we started off the season super hot. We played Houston first, and then we played, I think it was either New York or Moosey, flip-flopped, one of the two. And we started off 3-0, and it was good. And then we went 4-0. We were hot still. And then obviously went into our last match of the season against Paris and went Game 5 and lost it, which was tragic. We just had a terrible Map 5. But we move on from that. And then we start off playoffs, you know. We were confident. We were confident in our ability. We faced up against Sin City Slayers after watching them take down Houston. And obviously it was just a bad day for all of us. I think you touched on that a little bit last week. But you know, we were kind of like, all right, it's time to hit the reset button. So we hit the reset button, figured out who we were playing, ended up playing Vancouver and Paris, and you guys know how those went. So, like I said earlier, we kind of just had to get back to what we were doing at the beginning of the season. I think we're on that track.
I want to ask you a question, Gear, real quick.
What's up?
After falling 3-1 to Sin City Slayers and coming back winning 3-0 against the Vancouver Comets, how do you do you have your own particular way of like mentally preparing yourself after a loss like that to come back and win 3-0?
I mean,
So
honestly, sometimes yeah, but like in that scenario, like we obviously felt like we were the better team, and we just played down and didn't play to our ability, like we had been all season. So like it was just a bad match for us. It was a matter of just as a team connecting and getting back to what we were doing before. So like I don't think any of us necessarily were like having to prepare ourselves for the next match. We just had to get back to what we were doing.
Yeah, I agree with Logan. It's like, if the same Green Bay Goats played the Sin City Slayers when we played them in the upper side of the bracket, like I feel like we probably would have won. It was like an off day, and even on an off day, we still lost 3-1 with a really close game 4 and a search and destroy. We could have potentially won. It's just like that's sometimes like how the cookie crumbles, and you see like that happens again to a team like New York. It's like a lot of people probably would have said like, okay. I think if you looked at it objectively, you're like, okay, Sin City definitely has a chance in this series if they can do their normal 2 like really good at search and destroy and steal a respawn type play style. But people probably expected New York to win, but they gave up a tough control. I mean, Sin City looked absolutely amazing in that control, so you got to tip that. But they end up dropping that and they lose the 2 search and destroy. So a team that like Sin City, where they can win every search and destroy if you give them the opportunity to do so, these sort of upsets can happen, just at the blink of an eye. And there's always teams like that. So to be playing New York in the lower finals, if you told me at the beginning of Diamond playoffs that we were playing New York in the losers finals, then I would have assumed that the Paris Renegades would have been in the grand finals. You know what I mean? But that's just not how it pans out. Here we are, Wednesday, going to be trying to knock down these New York Lightning and maybe get a revenge on Sin City whenever that final match may be. But yeah, I mean, it was a great season of Diamond. I mean, me and Logan definitely had a good time. Wouldn't you agree, Logan Gear? We had a great time on the Green Bay
Oh, it
Goats.
was a fantastic time. No Scrim Squad was making moves in the regular season all the way up until that week 5. But like we said before, we're focused on this next match. Fish Butter, aka Jake. Um, I'm excited. I've been ready to play in New York again. We obviously haven't seen them in a while since like week 2 or 3. So they're a completely different team now, and I'd say we are a little bit as well. So it should be a good one.
you guys
Yeah,
have
that
any
week
pretty
2
sure.
matchup was something to witness for sure. That was during the Texas Land that we hosted on week 2, or I should say the Boston Burger guys hosted on week 2, and it wasn't close, but that was a long time ago. So I'm really looking forward to see if New York can make it close this time. They should. Their hard point looks like infinitely better than the last time.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
true.
About
definitely
the
no
other
doubt
3
about it.
modes.
I mean,
or other
they
3
were literally a
games.
map away from being in finals. Like that map 5 versus Cincinnati could go either
Mhm.
way if they just find the kills instead of Cincinnati find them. So like, honestly, you
Extra
can't really
point
count any
coffee.
of these teams out. And earlier we kind of talked about we talked about Cincinnati winning those S&Ds. Like you got to tip that. Like in those do or die moments in playoffs, if you're winning all your S&Ds and you can steal a respawn, like you find yourselves in finals like them. So not to take away from them. Like obviously Jake was saying like we felt like we should have beat them, but definitely can't take away from their performance in playoffs this season.
I mean, you absolutely do got to tip that. And you say like that game 5 could have gone either way. Let's not forget the game 2 as well also went round 11. And when you get to those round 11 situations, like those are literally a coin flip at times. It's like who gets the blood, who makes the play that finds the gap and gets that kill. But like you said, like their hard point looks so good. Like I wouldn't say this on stream if it was another team, but we all know that like Crash was really struggling in the beginning of the season. And once he like went back to form, we're seeing the New York Lightning we expect to see day in and day out. I would even say you wouldn't expect New York to lose a control the way they did. They lost that hotel 3-0. And that was, I mean, that's a really tragic situation. I mean, it goes back to Gothard not stacking the point, and then it just kind of collapses from there. It's like little things like that can happen. Like you can make one mistake and everything can change, and you can end up losing 3-0 in a control. Like it just happens.
Also, I want to say one thing about the Sin City Slayers. I know they've been playing with each other for such a long time. Do you think that chemistry they have between the 4 of them, like, helped propel them to the grand
I
finals?
would kind of say yes in playoffs because towards the end of the season they subbed in a few people like here and there, and then maybe round 1 of playoffs. But ever since they went back to their like original 4, then they've been playing with them since. Like they've been looking pretty good. And like honestly, like players on that team, like you that don't get like a lot of spotlight, like Jeff, like he's been popping off this playoff. So like I think their team chemistry definitely comes into play.
And I know we got a couple of questions for you, Logan Gear. I'm pretty sure CNK has some of those questions
Oh,
saved, so I think maybe we should lean over to that sort of the thing. We don't want to keep you too long, Logan Gear, but CNK, I'll let you take that one away.
hey man, I got the best question of all time. How does it feel to be a part of the Green Bay Goats? I mean, the best franchise in the CRL. I mean, if you look according to the tags on the side of the Discord, the most popular one as well. How does it feel?
Oh man, it feels great. Obviously, me and Jake have teamed together in Diamond a few seasons, and we've been a part of a few different franchises. But the Green Bay Goats has definitely been a fun one this season, and it's definitely grown on me. It wasn't always my favorite, but this season, being the Goats, it's definitely grown on me. I enjoyed it a lot.
Hey. And then I also got to follow it up immediately. I mean, the Green Bay Goats here, this is a team that's been around, right? We've had some issues. I mean, I say we, like, I have anything to do with the team, but the most important question I have is how does it feel to have the Snake King on your team, having Morph on the roster with the squad? That guy,
Wait
top
for him.
AC on Embassy, is not okay. We saw that on stream, like, what, 2-3 weeks ago, and it was, come on, man. Come on.
Oh yeah, he's passionate about his movement. He keeps his head up and down on those headies, and I mean he's frying when he's got the AR in his hands. Everyone knows what Morph is capable of, and I mean I had my eyes set on him before the season even started. I hit him up and asked if he wanted the team, and it worked out. So we formed a little squad, and then you know Kilrook was a special surprise to add to
Yeah.
that squad. So it worked out well.
Like, that's a squad and a half. That's a squad you could bring to any land. You could have some fun. That's for sure.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
redemption arc that Morph is having is crazy.
Oh, it is. It is.
It's really cool to see how he's coming to the league after being banned for a year and just frying
Gotta call him out
everybody.
like that.
I mean,
That
he has been
necessary, Jimmy.
he's
Yeah,
been
I know
moving
I
this
will.
season.
He's I know he's fine with it, and he's frying. He's been nothing but great vibes the entire time too.
Oh, I mean, Logan said it.
Absolutely good teammate.
Logan
He
said it
took
himself.
the
Like that kid is passionate. The
yeah, he
absolute
took the
passion
ban
at
on
the
the
top.
chin. He took the ban on the chin, came back, and he's been awesome.
Yeah, great addition to add back to the CRL. You know, you can't say that for all the people that get banned, but it was a good choice to bring him back for sure.
I mean, if you think about most people that do get banned, once they receive that ban, they have the worst attitude about it. They you know they talk down about the community, the staff.
Mhm.
They don't just respect our rules in general. We have someone like Morph who realizes like his mistake, owns up to it, respects the staff and our rules, and has a very good standing in the community. I mean, how can you not take it back? Also, he's a great guy. Like, come on. I met
Yeah,
Morph
him.
Gas
well,
is
it's like
unreal right now.
the amount of people that I had advocating for him to come back in the league was wild, and like far more than anybody else had ever reached out about. So,
I know.
and when he got banned, he didn't talk crap about everybody.
Yeah,
So that
Matt and
helps.
I met him in Raleigh during Major One, and I mean, he's a great dude. Chill. You know, we watched a lot of Challengers matches together. I'm pretty sure he played
Oh,
in
he
it.
loves his
If I'm not
COD.
mistaken. Yeah, he does love his COD.
He loves his
That's for
COD.
sure. And you know, it was a great time talking to him and meeting all the other CRL people who attended the event. There was a lot of people there. A lot
Mhm.
of people. A lot of first timers too. A lot of new people who were new to the league that we weren't too familiar with. But you know, we got a chance to sit down, you know, talk with them and see how you know they came into CRL or just the ESRO in general. Some of the people that I talked to at Major One came from the other leagues like Halo. Decided to start playing in CRL. So I mean, that was pretty cool to see. But yeah,
East Coast events bang.
yeah.
All right,
East Coast
CNK.
events
Next
are awesome.
question.
Next question. I'm just gonna keep rifling through. You think I wrote down like 20 questions here? No, I'm just kidding. But I actually have a big question for both you and Jake here, Logan Gear.
Ooh,
The big question
Ooh.
I have, and this is something I actually have been wondering for a while now. How did it kind of feel going into a diamond season with the roster that you have, just knowing the expectation really is to like win? Like with that roster, like it's got to feel that way.
Maybe in
well,
a sense, but we've kind of had this conversation with like some of the other players. Like obviously we're friends with a lot of the other players in Diamond, but like it kind of it's like the topic of like forming like a God squad, and like a lot of people over the seasons like would say like you have Paris who's won back to back to back
Yeah.
seasons of Diamond. They're you'd say they're a God squad, or you could say New York is a God squad. So I mean there's like I'd say there's a lot of expectations for a lot of these teams to win. So like when you're just playing at the top level in Diamond, it's like that. It's fun. Everyone expects to get wins, so it sucks to lose. So like for us, I don't feel any more like pressure. It's just a matter of like playing our game, and if we do that, we're frying and we're winning. So we're just gonna stay on track with that.
Yeah, I don't know like necessarily how much people even expected us to win. I think people expect us to be good, but I think Logan can attest to this. Like after the season we had like in Platt before, we were definitely feeling a lot better like having the expectation of winning. You know what I mean? Like we get Morph on the squad and you know we're a team of 3 for a little bit and then we're kind of like back and forth on like who we like kind of want to pick up. We were supposed to be teaming with somebody else and then that ended up falling through. And Kilrook was kind of like a last minute addition, to be honest. I think we like added Kilrook to the group chat like either the day of or it was probably the day before signups. Like we literally we're like, who are we gonna team with? And Morph was like, yo, I could ask Kilrook, and I was like, I mean, why not? Like he was good in Platt, and he's definitely just as good as in Platt as he is in Diamond, or he's just as good in Diamond as he was in Platt. He's a great teammate, he's a great guy, and a great addition to the squad. So, I mean, to answer your question, like Logan said, there wasn't that much added pressure because I feel like teams like Paris, teams like New York, they have just as much expectation set to them as maybe probably more than we were.
I mean, that Paris roster, I mean, the expectation is literally win or bust, right? I mean, when you win, like you said, back to back to back times, I mean, in the highest division, I can't imagine for that squad. They are probably hating not being in playoffs right now, but hey, it is what it is, right? That's Diamond playoffs. It's insanely competitive, especially this season. We got a couple teams, like you just said, a couple different God squads. But hey, I'm not biased at all, but I got the Green Bay Goats making it kind of fun. I'm just knock on some wood real quick, just
Like that out of you.
but yeah, Logan Gear, I'm sorry, I got to ask you this question. I got to do it, but you got to rank your teammates 1 to 3, and you can't include yourself. You have to do it.
Oh man.
Hey Jake,
I thought we were going to do the other question.
That was the question. No.
This is a hard question. All right.
No, this is the question I'm at. Hey, we have another one after this that's even worse, but this one's my favorite one because this is your teammates.
From best to worst.
Hey, I said 1 to 3. I didn't say anything about best to worst here. 3 could be the best. 1 could be the best. We don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Yeah. I won't tell y'all which order it's in, but I'm gonna say Morph, Jake, Caleb, Kilrook.
Okay.
I mean, it's a tight list. It's a tight 1 through 3 for sure.
It's tough.
I mean,
it's really
worst
tough.
isn't even bad. So I mean, I don't know what the question is here, CNK. You gotta let me know.
Yeah, it's true.
No, that was a setup, Logan. I won't lie.
It was definitely a setup.
It was a setup.
We were definitely joking about giving you that one, and then I gave it to you because I had to do it. But the real question is, you got to rank your top 3 Diamond players overall in the division.
Ooh, top 3. I'll do categories. All right, I'll do categories.
Okay,
I'll do top 3 ARs and then top 3 subs. So top 3 ARs are probably in no specific order: Enzo, Jake, Morph, and then you can throw Super Perp in there, but they're out of playoffs. So make it 4 for ARs. For 3 for subs, I'd say it's probably outages. Oh man,
I'm trying to think of who I would even put.
Outages is a demon though. Oh my gosh.
Outages, Kilrook, and third we'll throw.
You're forgetting one.
I am forgetting one. Who am I forgetting?
Well, are you doing teams in Diamond or like teams that are eliminated or teams that are still alive in playoffs?
Oh, I was just thinking of just teams in Diamond.
You're thinking of a Paris SMG player.
Ooh, yeah, I would throw. I mean, you could throw Maddie in there.
That's not who I was thinking of. I would have put Electric MC, Logan.
It could be I mean, MC. Ooh, MC as well. Dang, there's a lot of players now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm blacking out. I'd say yeah, MC, Outages, Kilrook, Gother. That's like the main 4.
Okay.
Well, I think you hit all the players that I thought you were gonna hit. So, I think one like maybe underrated would be Fury. I think Fury is
Fury's
definitely setting pace on the map.
he's been doing his thing in playoffs this season. They've been
Now
moving.
Fury's like the fastest. It's like Fury and Outages are like tied like top 2 fastest SMGs in the league, and like they just both like create so much pressure on the map. It's actually psychotic. Like if you let him through for a second, he'll be anywhere. Like you'll see him cross P4 on Hotel, and then he'll be Shandy somehow, and you're
Oh, he's
like,
gone.
what just happened? He's just
He's gone.
gone.
He's out of there.
I forget who said it. I think it was Gother that said it, but like Fury and Sin City in general don't really like make themselves known in the league. They don't talk much, so like they may as well all be the same person. So it's
Dude,
hard
yeah,
to tell.
we
It's,
talk
hard-
about
it's hard to tell like who
we
is
do
the
talk
best
about
on that
that.
team. But like they're like again they're like a staple of the league at this point. But you know I can't pick one out to be the best.
Yeah, I've like never personally ever spoken to like any of them, so I don't know what any of them sound like or anything. So like when I just think of Sin City, I just think of like F or Air, Fury, Jeff, and Poppy.
Yeah.
Like I don't think of like anything like separate from that. Like they're all the same, like you said. Just one big happy family over there.
All right, Logan. Well, I think we are reaching kind of a late mark for the discussion on the Diamond playoffs. We're almost at 25 minutes here, so I think we probably will let you go for the day. But appreciate you coming on the podcast as usual. You're a regular podcast guest in the CRL. We had our own podcast for a while. Don't forget the pre-show.
Yeah.
Sure, you always know how it is. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us today. We're gonna keep continuing the podcast. But Logan, thank you for coming on the show today. Hope to see you do well in our match on Wednesday. Don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I'll see you there, Fish Butter. Y'all have a good rest of your podcast. Appreciate y'all having me on. Have a good one.
See ya.
Later. Well, what a good guest, Logan Gear. A lot more time for discussions, and you know, a lot more playoffs happening in all of the rec leagues to be had. So why don't we get started with that discussion? CNK, what do we got next?
Cool. Let's break down some of these divisions. We are going to be starting off looking at that very bottom. We're going to start in Iron and work our way up as far as all the teams playing against each other in these like absolutely insane finals we're going to have coming up pretty much everywhere. But that Iron pre-made division, I think, is going to be an interesting one because obviously you're going to have the Manitoba Mallards versus the LA Dweebs. Both of these teams kind of did a good job throughout the entire season making their way here. LA Dweebs had a rough regular season, I do believe. Yeah, right there, it's pulled up. I do believe on stream now for you. Who said they went 3-4, but their playoffs have been nothing short of spectacular. And then obviously this Manitoba team. I mean, that's Graz's squad right there. He's got his Manitoba
Staples of the league.
Mallards. He's in it. What's that?
Staples of the league, both of these
Yeah,
teams. They've both been around forever, and I'm really happy to see them both playing for the inaugural season of Iron. Which, for those who don't know, Iron is our invite-only division below Bronze for people who are like genuinely new to Call of Duty or just severely lack the skill to play in any division higher.
Oh, wow, that's actually unbelievably messed up that you just said that.
Hey! I say that, but if you go 1-6 in Bronze, I think you would be delighted to get an invite to Iron. All right, so they understand where they are.
This
Yeah,
this
that's true.
definitely should be actually a really fun matchup between these two teams. I mean, you got Juan Cena. That's all that matters. Juan Cena is an absolute classic on the stream. One of my favorite people to cast ever, just because of the name.
No, it's a great name.
It's a good time every time. Like legit every time. It will be unfortunate for some reason he doesn't play, but I'm sure he will. So.
I mean, we got Juan Cena on one team, we got Gucci Mane on the other team. It's like this is just the battle of good names. But like you said, you know, a lot of names that I recognize here in Iron Pre-Made, which is it's so sad that I don't get to say that as often anymore. It's like I see people in finals and I'm like, ooh, we got new faces, but it's always nice to see the OGs get their championship matchups. So this is gonna be a good one, like you said.
No, this is gonna be a fun one indeed. But I guess we can move on from the Iron Division here and get ourselves on over to the Bronze Pre-Made North. We got a couple Bronze Pre-Made divisions to worry about here, but Bronze Pre-Made North, definitely a good one to look at there. You got the Seattle Sloths versus LAG. And I mean, both these teams had a little bit of a tough regular season, which lets you know maybe the pools were a little bit more even than you would have thought, but both these teams ready to face each other in those in those finals. And I mean, both these teams, I'm trying to look at some of the names here and just see who I can. Yeah, we got Palm Show and Co. over on Seattle.
Show and
Hey,
trends.
Jims, how happy are you that Seattle is in the finals?
I am a Seattle Sloth lover. I'm really disappointed that this team is not actually Sasky Shotgunners, which is Palmsho's team that he paid for back in Black Ops Cold War.
That's
Just
crazy.
I think he was added onto this roster late. I think he has some mixed teammates on this roster. It may have just been added a few weeks into the season, but happy to see Palm show in the final. He's had a rough go in Silver for a couple seasons, so to see him playing for a championship is pretty cool. On the other side of Lag, we got our Boston Breach Insider, Oxygen Insider, Voodoo Man. We got Tony DHFC from across the pond. He actually lives in England. Met him at the Boston Major. Went to a Celtics game with him. So good guy.
really?
Happy to see both of those guys in finals. You got a 4-3 team and a 3-4 team. So this is like a 3 seed v 4 seed. So both of these teams are trying to make the Cinderella run right now.
I mean, it's always fun when like the lower seeded teams, the teams that kind of like performed poorly in the regular season, make it all the way to finals. It's like it's
Well,
always fun to see.
The playoffs bring like the extra heat to the games that people tend to try harder, especially in the passion pit, the lower divisions of CRL.
Oh, yeah.
Silver, oh man, Silver, that is
Oh, it's getting
the pit.
passionate.
That is the pit for sure.
You got some demons down there. Ready
Oh
to
yes,
go.
I do.
I'm excited to be able to see that matchup. That's gonna be a good one. I tell you what, though, we got a lot of pre-made matches. I mean, there's 12 pre-made divisions, so if you don't make it on stream, whether for that be mixed or for pre-made, we're sorry. But we've got an
Yeah.
Alpha and a Bravo running pretty much every single day. There's only so many streams we can have going. If we could have a Charlie every single week, we probably would, but it's just like not feasible at all. But
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna move on over to that bronze pre-made
I
self.
think earlier Matty I threw it up on stream of all the list of every single captain's chat that we have. I mean, it's 17 strong, including
It's
Diamond
insane.
this season, and it was a ton to manage. Yeah, he has it up on stream right now. Like, I think I posted that really early on in the season. I'm just like, everything is fine. Like there was just so much to deal with this season. So I'm happy it's over, but next season we might get even more. So we'll see. But hopefully now with rank play kind of cooling down, it's going to be a little bit easier to manage all of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say this might be the most captain's chats or just chat. Yeah, captain's chats we'll ever see ever in the CRL. Maybe at least for a little bit. Probably for the rest of MW2. It's like this is a lot of captain's chats. There's a lot of teams in the CRL this season, and some of those are jam packed with captains in there. So I mean, there could have been more than 17.
Yeah, historically, the summer season's our biggest season. So
oh boy.
So we'll see what happens.
All
right,
right,
Next on the board.
Yeah, bronze pre-made South. Another couple names in here that we've seen quite a bit on stream, that's for sure. But both these teams going 6-1 in the season, so it should be the number one from either individual pool. I believe the only time I think these two teams, one of these teams lost to the other one, right? Because this was wow. Okay, was this the bronze division where they did cross pool?
South did not have cross pool. No.
That was North then, or
yeah, North was cross pool.
Okay, so never mind then. I was going to say they beat each other, but so the top teams obviously in their individual pools more than likely here, ending up making all the way to finals. So kind of like how things should be in theory, right? Like your number one seed should be, I guess, making it as like per how seeding works, right? It never really works out like that, but it does here. So both these teams going to put up a heck of a fight. I mean, look at that map set we got going on. You got the hotel, you got the Mercado Las Almas, you got another hotel, even get snuck a fortress in there for the hard point. It should be a good one between these teams. Especially, like, I love watching hotel and fortress between bronze teams because it is always a fun time. Like, it doesn't matter what the mode is, like, it is going to be fun time.
I just want to point out, Glizzy McGuire is crazy. That is an S tier name.
It's an iconic name. And he's teaming with El Diablo.
I mean, a duo right there.
It's a duo now.
If you look through all the teams in the iron and bronze divisions, they have some crazy names.
Is that?
It's easy to tell sometimes, like if a team should be in bronze, just based off of the name.
Yeah, that's true.
Just based
No,
off.
that's real.
I was about to call somebody out for their name, but I'm not doing it.
I don't
CNK guy's got a terrible name. I'm about to swap it up to
This,
KNC.
Oh, we
now.
got some
this
more
too.
OGs in the match.
Oh man,
Yo,
I could say
shout
I'm
out.
gonna go ahead and lead off of this. This is a very interesting matchup for me because on one side you have OGT, Old Guys Texas. That is a team of players I have teamed with before in Vanguard. On the other side of Atlanta Dazed with Seal and Carly, that is also two players I've also teamed with back in Cold War. So I know how good each of these teams can be. I have an idea who's gonna win, but I'm not gonna say that.
Ooh, say
Ooh.
it. Come on, Dad.
Come on,
sir,
this
I
is your
can't.
chance.
You know what?
I
I'll
You
say
gotta
it for
say
him.
it.
I'll say it for him. OGT should not be in silver this season. They're going to take it 3-0. It's not going to be close.
I'm just
Are
gonna
you sure
say it
about that?
for everybody out there that knows and is gonna be a
Oh,
ride or die.
no.
Atlanta Days taking this on. They're getting it done.
It
Alright, you
sounds
know
like
what?
Pepper thinks
I'll
that
give
Atlanta Days are taking it.
I'll give my 2 cents on this. All right, so when I've teamed with Lion and our Lion 2B in Rush on the side of Old Guys Texas, I know how good they can be. I know their strengths. I know their weaknesses. All right, and I know the strengths and weaknesses of Seal, Killswitch, and Carly. If I'm gonna have to say, I think Atlanta Days just might take this one.
Yo,
Oh.
about to start coaching
It's gonna
Atlanta
be
Days. I know their weaknesses in and out.
it's I mean, it's hard to say that because Lion's actually a really cool dude. He's really nice, you know. This past season, he did want to scrim a couple times, and we did. He wanted to learn from a higher division team on like what they're doing wrong and whatnot. And he said that they feel like they learned a little bit, but I know the COD knowledge the other side has. So I mean, kind of goes both ways, you know. Like,
Yeah.
what's gonna take him further, the COD knowledge or the gunny? I mean, both teams have both. So
Well, I mean, the map set is interesting to say the least.
that
Mercado,
is a very
Mercado,
interesting.
Asilo, Fortress is wild.
It's gonna get
I cannot
spicy
believe
quick.
this is Vito's. No, like, how did this get in? I've never
I s-
seen anything like that.
I saw this earlier, the map set, and I thought it was a troll. Not gonna lie,
It looks
I
like a
thought it
troll.
was a troll.
I mean, it looks like it's gonna be insanely fun to watch.
Um,
Man.
I want to know what went into the vetoes. I want to know what
Let's move
maps
on.
were vetoed.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on.
Let's move on to Silver East pre-made. We got the Paris Letdowns versus the Florida Puppeteers. We got Mixon and Co. on the Paris side against Blighted and Co. on the Puppeteer side. Is this the first championship matchup the Florida Puppeteers brand has made it to? It's potential.
It's possible.
Ooh.
So I think you guys don't know like anything about any of these players in this matchup. They played in the same pool there, and the last time they played, they went Game 5, Round 11. Florida. So
We got a
this should
banger.
be this
Absolutely.
should be a fantastic matchup. For those who you're probably not going to know Mixon either. Mixon or Jay, if his Discord ID is like J Mayels, I don't know how to pronounce it. He actually makes like Apex news videos. He has like 130K subs. Like he does pretty well.
Wow, dude,
Does
name
pretty well
drops
for
to
himself
him,
on
bro.
YouTube. So it's cool to see him playing here in his off times. You know, playing Call of Duty instead of Apex. Yeah, this should be a fantastic matchup. Like I said, I think it was I think Paris Letdowns tried to reverse sweep. And lost in Game 5, Round 11. I think was the result the first time these two played. So, looking forward to this one.
Yo, Jims, can I just say shout out to you for getting this on stream this week?
Yeah, that's one to watch.
Yeah, it's not even on stream.
No, it's not on stream.
Oh, wait, why would you say that, CNK? That is just
I had to point it out. I'm hoping one of these guys are streaming so we can tweet that out. Or not tweet it
Hey,
out,
there's a
but put it in
good
the
chance there's
announcement.
gonna be plenty of matches that end up dropping off, and we're gonna be able to slot
Oh,
this one in.
gotta
So
That's true. Factuals.
hopefully we can get it. But
All right, next
moving on
up,
to that
Silver South.
South remade. Denver Surrender versus LAG. Both these teams going 7-0. You know what that means? The number one seed from either pool. You got Proof and Co versus 999 Almighty. I'm sorry, I had to put
Yeah,
Almighty in Co. So it should be a good one. Map set a little bit different in this one. We're starting to get into that little bit of a mixy
Whoa.
map set. We got the Zarqua to start things out, then an LSC, then a Springberg Hotel, and then if needed, and we're gonna need it, an Elbagra Fortress hardpoint, and then also we're gonna need it in Embassy S&D.
You know, I I might have missed it, but I'm surprised there are not more embassies in these map
That's
sets.
true. That's a great shout, Dapper. No embassies
Like-
we've seen. I love MB Hardpoint.
Yeah, like
It's a rec league map set.
I mean,
I
I
don't
do
know.
like no doubles in the map set though. That's a
I
great shout.
that
feel
is
like
true.
I feel like a lot of teams in the rec league, maybe in the lower divisions, don't feel too comfortable in Embassy because I have noticed like a lot of teams, like when I'm casting and stuff, anything pretty much under plat, like a lot of times Embassy gets pretty wild and out of control.
Oh, it does.
So like when you watch like your platinum and diamond matches for like specifically like Embassy Hardpoint, for example, or even S&D, it does feel like the team that is like the quote unquote better team tends to like take over the map and kind of do their thing. Whereas like in the lower divisions, you definitely see where it gets a little bit too mixy. So I can see why a lot of teams maybe don't want to play it.
Yeah, that's valid. I mean, Embassy, it can be scary at times, but Embassy Search and Destroy, I think people sleep on Embassy Search and Destroy nowadays. Like, people
Yeah.
like to be like, oh, that map is bad. That map is dumb. Search and Destroy doesn't work on it. But, like, that's one of those maps that's, like, gotten better as the year has gone on. It's like,
Yes.
okay, you know those spawn nades are going to come over the building. You're going to need a trophy if you want to go A. But, hey, you get, or actually, it's B. B is tennis. That always messes me up. But, like, but then A bomb site, the bottom gas bomb site, has become much more used nowadays than it used to be. It was like nobody went toward the bottom gas bomb site, but now since teams are leaning toward the tennis side, it opens up that side. I always love when that happens, and so MB Search, great map.
I mean, in fairness though, if I see Morph top AC, I'm not channeling tennis. Like it's not happening. Like
Yeah, no.
I'm going A bomb. Like that's
Let me tell you, it is not just morph. I mean, I
yeah.
do be having a sniper out on MB Search, and when somebody dolphin dives cross top AC, it is impossible to hit a shot. I mean, it is you're not getting a head on screen for more than 0.2 seconds. It's just not possible.
Hey, but if you
Tell
hit
you
that
what.
shot, you're the guy.
On
You are.
tennis, when that bomb goes down, the snakes are indeed coming out.
Oh yeah.
I will snake, and I will not stop snaking. I will admit, I've done it before. I'm not afraid to admit it.
And you're gonna
Bonus
do it again.
rounds, I will do it again.
Well, we are gonna move right on over to
Yeah,
Silver
the
West.
one,
Premium.
one quick thing about the Silver South
Oh.
matchup. Both those teams, not much to say about them. They've been in the season. They've been in the league for like I think both of them 2, maybe 3 seasons apiece. A lot of smurfing allegations against both of them, so I'm just hoping that the Silver
Whoa.
South finals a banger. That's all.
Whoa.
Yo,
A lot of
yo,
smurfing
don't say
allegations against them.
That's
So
Aaron. Okay, whoa,
let's
chill.
just hope it's a banger.
I have to keep track of Morpheus tomorrow. You never know
This
with that
next
guy.
matchup though is actually going to be pretty god tier. The Silver West pre-made division, we're going to get it. I mean, New York Subpar 7-0, City Dingo 6-1. New York Subpar, I do believe, got mid-season moved up from bronze, right?
Not mid-season. At the end of the regular season, they got moved into silver.
That's
So
insane.
there was a lot of controversy. It was not an
Yeah.
easy decision to make, but
But
we had a team in silver that was beating teams like 250 to 12. Like you got to get them out of there.
you do.
So the spot opened up. We moved them up at the end of the regular season, and now they're playing in the finals of silver, which really tells you that they should have never been in bronze.
Hey,
Wait, who did that
shout
happen
out
to? New York?
Bobbert though. He recommended they go in
Yeah.
bronze in the first place and won't take credit for it.
Well, shout out to New York Subpar. I mean, they might have had that situation, but I'm pretty sure they're new to the league. That is, in fact, a bunch of the production team and even a caster from the We Are Clutch GG team over at We Are Clutch. So shout out those guys, all great individuals. And maybe they shouldn't have been in bronze, but I feel like they found their place in silver. I mean, they're in finals. They got to be solid.
Hey, and they're up against none other than the Grim Reaper and Co.
Banger.
Oh my gosh. The Sydney Dingoes went 6-1 in the season. Did a good job through playoffs there. They won 3-1 and then winning 3-0 in their second match. So very dominant performances out of both these teams, only dropping one map in playoffs each. So both these teams should have put up a very good matchup here in the finals. They got a fairly good map set here as well. You see it kind of jump around a little bit. You got a couple of silos, couple hotels that Las Almas. So once again, kind of hopping around a little bit. No embassy, no hydroelectric, anything, but kind of probably a little bit more typical maps.
Very typical. Let's move on to Gold North Prevent. I mean, this really is reminding me how many divisions there are in the CRL these days, guys.
Yes.
I mean, it is just still going. I mean, we're in the gold. We're in Gold North. So we are rearing It's ugly head. Toward the end, we got Orbit and Co. over on the Maui Chums against Mel and Co. on the Chicago Hunted. Maps have not been set yet, but we got 2 5-2 teams grinding it out in the Gold North pre-made playoffs. I mean, this one looks to be a solid one per usual.
I will say, as having played both of these teams in the regular season and Maui Chums in the first round of playoffs, teams are really good. These teams are
Ooh.
pretty good.
I will
I
say,
can say I personally got slapped around by Orbit and Co. Uh, it was not fun, personally.
I mean, just looking at the way
But-
the bracket kind of played out, though, Dapper, I think this is going to be a 3-0 because not a single map was won by an opposing team in this bracket. If you look at it, every single match was a 3-0.
Every single match?
Every match. Look at the bracket right now.
Matty Ice pulled up for the one time.
Oh,
Good grief.
man.
Oh, it's insane.
There are 3-0s all over the place.
Oh, man. You 3-0 somebody and then you get 3-0'd. That's just how it went.
That's just the lay of the land, it seems.
Hey,
Good
dude,
lord.
Cold North
Well-
Pre-Made does not mess around. These guys are some demons.
Orbit and Raccoon Dog, they are some absolute demons at this game. And if they show up in this match, I believe they can take it because they're disgusting. They are very disgusting.
Those are both like younger guys, am I right? They're like
I believe so.
under the age of 20. When you get those under 20-year-olds on the Vaznev, I mean, it is just impossible to kill them, I swear. They are just unstoppable. Their reaction times are too quick. I'm getting jump chowed into the next dimension.
The younger you are, the better SMG player you are.
Facts. Let's move on. What do we got up next? Moving
Gold
on.
East.
We got Gold East pre-made. Let's see who we got. Sydney Dingoes versus Old Guys Texas. We got Amish Doinks and Co. from the Sydney Dingoes against Cryptics on Old Guys Texas. Not really recognizing some of the Old Guys Texas members. Sorry guys, but we got 2 6-1 teams, and I see some recognizable names over on the Sydney Dingoes. So I mean, Gold has been a mix this season. So you got to expect these chumps matches are going to be very good.
Well, this is the second gold division we've looked at for playoffs, and once again, not a single team winning a map.
Oh my lord!
The opposing teams have not won a map.
What's going on in gold this season?
Yo, Dapper, you tell us you played in gold. Like,
Yeah,
Hey,
I
I was
mean-
in gold north, so
yeah,
I
but,
mean,
your division did this.
Other
too.
division. Yeah.
gold
Oh,
north.
this is insane. Somebody win a map. Hey, I'm sure a lot of these maps were like really close too. That's the thing. Like it'll happen.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
There's
But,
definitely some 6-5 searches, some 3-2 controls.
dude.
I mean, it is a mix. It's day to day
you
Call
get,
of
like, a
Duty over here in
250, a
MW2.
248
I
hard
can't-
point.
I can't remember how close our maps were. I don't think map 2 and 3 were close, but I remember correctly. I think map 1 was relatively close, like within like 30, 40 points maybe. Map 2, oh gosh, map 2, I think it was like 6-3 or something like that, but map 3, yeah, map 3 was a map 3. Just gonna leave it at that.
Controls.
Hey, it happens. It happens. But we got the Sydney Dingoes versus the Old Guys Texas. Both teams gonna be 6-1. Should be a good one here. The map set is looking great. You got no map, no map, no map, no map, no map. So curious to see how those maps play out. I don't know if they're gonna be doing like a Minecraft tournament or something to figure that one out, but I'm sure they'll get that map set in here shortly. But these teams obviously insanely talented. 3-0'd their way on into finals, so should be a banger here as well. I think the gold division as a whole is pretty much always producing really good finals, like every time.
I mean, when it's finals, I mean, it doesn't matter what could have happened beforehand. It always seems like it's the rec league magic. Like these matches are always just godlike for no reason. Like even if it's like a 3-0, like something absolutely insane will happen. Like no matter what, you can never predict it. You can't even see it coming. You could watch a match that something crazy happens. You'd be like, that would never happen to me. And then you'll get in a finals match and it'll happen to you. It's just like that's just the way it happens. And so you gotta be tuned into some of these jumps matches because they're always gonna be wild for the most part, I would say.
Hey, shout out chumps, always a good time. But now we're gonna move on over to Gold South Pre-Made and look at that. A gold team won a map. It's not just 3-0s all over the place. But we still see a lot of 3-0s, but we see OGT, they put up quite the fight. They did end up losing 3-2 there. And then obviously Chicago Hunted also winning a map towards the bottom there in quarterfinals. But we end up with Atlanta Days versus Dallas Flat Tires over in the bracket here to finish things off for the championship. This is going to be Mott & Co. versus, I don't even know how to say that.
Carbos.
Carbos.
Carbos. That makes
Carbos, yeah.
a lot of sense. Carbos. And that's going to be, this is a team I've seen a lot, actually. Very talented team over in the Dallas Flat Tires. Both these teams 7-0. Both teams obviously winning every single one of their playoff matches to make it into the finals in the first place. So, got to be a lot of talent there to get that done. So, both teams currently 9-0. The winner of this going to be 10-0 on the season and win it all and get the championship tag and get forced into plat. But other than that, like
Both teams are flat, quite frankly.
oh no, both teams are going to be in plat. That's
Even
tough
more
news.
surfing allegations for both of these teams. They're both going up.
They got Mac Melt on the squad. I mean, how?
That's what I'm saying.
Even possible. I mean, that is Mackenzie Melts. I can't lie. Also, I must add, I'm a little torn by this game because, old teammate from the past, Motley Reflex on the Atlanta Dazed. I would love to see him win, but on the other side, we got Carbos, who I did yoink the Pick'ems championship from him at the last day. So, I would hope that he could at least take the Gold South Pre-Made Championships home, but I mean, you got to think you got to get one of them, no?
Gotta do it, right? And if he doesn't, we're never gonna let him live it down. That's messed up. But hopefully he can take that one home. Gold South Pre-Made once again gonna be another banger. I feel like we're gonna have a lot of great championship matches. Maybe a few that are a little sided, but we don't gotta talk about those. But moving on to Gold West Pre-Made, another one where we got a couple maps being won by the opposing team. Love to see that. Gold Division is absolutely wild, by the way, insanely. But you're gonna have the Dallas Flat Tires versus New York Subpar. Dallas being 5-2, New York being 6-1. So both teams had maybe a little bit of struggles during the season. Dallas, losing two series there overall, but still winning 5 is super strong. They're winning 2 more in playoffs to make it at the championship. So 7-2 overall. And New York Subpar gonna be up to that 8-1 moving into this. So both these teams ready to go against each other. And I get some squads here.
Oh, we absolutely do.
Unfortunately, I don't know anything about either of these teams. Like, there's a
Well, I've
handful.
seen-
There's a handful of players that have been around the league for like a season or two, but like the teams as a whole, I think this is for the most part all of their first times being in the league. So,
Well, I've seen
congrats on making
Maestro
it to
on
Gold West
stream at least
Finals. Should be
once,
good.
and he was doing some damage.
Wait, who'd you see?
Maestro on stream for the Dallas Flat Tires, and he
Oh.
was doing some damage, like some real damage. So I'm excited to see that team play. It should be a good one between those two squads. But move on to the Platinum Pre-Made division. I tell you what, beautiful division. Love to see it. These two teams going to be going at it. New York Subpar versus the Denver Surrender. Good squads, man.
Matty Ice is playing a mini
It's so
game. on
hard, bro.
West.
It shouldn't be this hard. But
Okay, got it up.
ready to go at it. So these teams once again had maybe a little bit of struggles during the season, just a few though, nothing too crazy, being that 5-2 and 6-1, just like the previous division. So this being Platinum Pre-Made, the winner of this is like it's the top dog of the non-invite like Diamond division, right? But this is the top dog of the league, right? So this is an important matchup.
Yeah, it absolutely is. We got the Denver Surrender, who we've seen in the CRL in the past. We got Vauza and co. Then we got Flashy on the other side. Not sure I've seen Flashy and co, but turn me up, Josh. I will not lie. I'm liking the name at a New York Subpar. Turn me up, Josh. I mean, that just
Nino
it
the
rolls off the
Gambino.
tongue perfectly. Nino the Gambino. I
It's a
mean, they
good
got
one.
some swag in their gamer tags. What can I say?
They got some names and they got some hot gunny too. I know Kiravad is disgusting on that
Really?
roster. I don't know much about the rest of them, but I know the couple of times that I've seen Kiravad on stream, he has been frying. So look for him to go off on stream.
Ooh.
Maybe
Hey,
new
it's
up and
Platinum
comer.
Pre-Made. I'm gonna get a banger.
Wait, Jims, has this Flashy team been in the league in the past, or do you know if this is their first season?
I believe this is their first season. Flashy sounds a little familiar, but he
agree.
wasn't in flat and he wasn't with the same players.
I mean, I feel like this always happens. It's like ranked play comes out, and then you just see like some new people like find their way into the league, and you're like, "Who's that guy?" And then they're just like absolutely disgusting. And it's like, okay, I mean, that's what happened with Super Perp. It's like you started on plat, we were like, "Who's this guy?" And then he's gross, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's Super Perp." I mean, maybe Kiravad's the next guy. You never know.
Yeah.
Hey, that is always
And
one of
both
those
these
things.
guys making the platinum final, they're going to be getting invites to Diamond if they end up coming back. It's just
Ooh.
yeah.
We
So
get the spice.
it'll be as long as they come back, they got their invite to Diamond, so they got top 2.
Hey, shout out to those guys for making it there. But we're gonna be moving into mixed now. Love to see some mixed starting things off in the bronze mixed division. Gonna have ourselves the Sasky Shotgunners versus Manitoba Mallards. You know what that means, right? We got a little Canadian duel going on over here.
Absolutely. And I love to see Expo make it into the map pool.
Oh,
Hey,
That's a
yeah,
fun
that's a
time.
good catch
Control?
actually. I had
Jeez,
not
and it
realized. I don't
happened in
think.
mixed. What?
I
I mean,
don't think we
that's a
saw a
trolley
single
one.
expo.
I don't think we did either. And I love to see Gucci Mane and Palm Show making it to finals in pre-made and in mixed. I mean, that's a great season. I mean, you're feeling good going into this
And
week.
Venom.
And Venom.
Yeah, Venom. Got a couple people. Low Tucker as well.
I mean, there's a bunch of people. I mean, people are just running up the championship numbers this season, it seems. And we got 3 more divisions. We got Silver South mixed. Who we got on this one? It's Dino and Co. versus Pro Rex and Co. Some recognizable names on the LAG side of things. Also some recognizable names from Chicago Hunted and X Handsome _ Banana. I mean, that's my type of name.
It's actually a great name. I like it. The Zap Baby and Co. Yeah, that's a good team. I like this. This should be a fun one just for the names alone. I can't even imagine casting this. You got Magic Mike on one side and then Handsome Banana. Like, oh, I
There's
think
so
we'd
many
have a good time.
bananas. There's so many bananas
Story
in this
for this
hero.
one. Story for this one. The lag team was 0-3 at one point.
Ooh, not no more, baby. Not no more.
Their team completely fell apart. We add the new duo, Magic Mike, Big Dog. They've been frying for them. They
Love
win
to see
out
it.
4 games. They make it to the finals of Silver North. Congrats to them.
So you got to think if they win this one, shout out Jims for stacking the roster.
Okay.
Yes.
Jims
Yeah, you're
complains
not
about
wrong. It was me.
sandbagging and then creates a sandbag team. I like
It
it.
was
That's
me.
respect right there, Jims. I'm just kidding. But hopefully the team can win it there. But moving on to the Silver South mixed division, we got OGT versus New York Subpar. We got the 7-0 OGT versus the 4-3 New York Subpar. A little bit more struggle there on that side. But on the OGT side, you're going to have Coma and Co. This is Coma, Seal. Those are people we've seen in a previous division. That's the gold division, right? They were in
Silver.
silver.
were in
Okay, yeah, they're in
silver.
silver too for pre-made as well. Okay, makes sense. But then on the other side, you're going to have Zark and Co. for New York Subpar. So I mean, I can tell you right now that Coma and Seal are some demons. For sure.
We see another expo making it into the map set.
2 Albagras as well, back to back. Albagra Hardpoint, Albagra
Oh,
S&D
man.
into an Expo control. Okay, that's gonna be
Personally,
an interesting one.
I would not let Fortress get into the map set. I would put that thing down into the Shadow Realm. Not
Point
not
or
let it see
search?
that. Dude, that map is trash. Come on.
Jeez. All right, moving on. Gold mixed division. We're gonna have ourselves the Boston Boigas and the Dallas Flat Tires. This should be a fun one here. Dallas gonna be 7-0, Boston 4-3. So it looks like on the side of Dallas Flat Tires, a couple familiar names. You're gonna have Mott, G-Man. Then over on the other side here of the Boston Burgers. I think the only one I see that is familiar is gonna be Exodus for me.
I know Silver FL.
Yeah,
I've
Silver's
seen
very
that name a
consistent.
lot.
Okay.
Been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Flat Tires looking like they want to go perfect on the season here and this one and get the championship. But Boston, I tell you what, they ain't gonna flop over and just give you this one for free. Gonna have to put up a fight there. So, but gold mixed, well, mixed in general, always gonna be spicy, right? Obviously, you're gonna be signing up as a solo player or as a duo, right? You can sign up as solo or duos and get matched with random players. So you really never know how that's gonna go. So it always gets real mixy in the middle of the season. Mixed, same thing. What are you gonna do? But I will say, I think that is going to be it for us talking about our championship matches here coming up this week. We will have a bunch of streams happening over the next couple of days. You're going to have Alpha and Bravo on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to look forward to. So since we're done with that, I guess we can talk a little bit about the CRL signups for next season before we go into a little bit more topics here. Because the season is ending, right? The championships are happening this week. So the next season signups are going to be happening May 7th. That's in 6 days. So get ready to sign up. Be the first team to get signed up. But get your teams in there, signed up, ready to go. The sooner you sign up, the better chance you have to make it in. And that season will be starting May 23rd, May 25th. Like in that time period there, that's the week it's happening at the end of the month. So make sure you get your team signed up.
these roster manias are mixy. I mean, the season's ending this week, and if you're trying to make a roster change, you got to do it before Monday because signups are right then, and you got to be ready. I mean, let's not forget the announcement we put out. You want to be punctual on this set of signups. So if you're listening to me right now, sign up on time, please.
For the love of God, please actually just sign up. Like, if you don't sign up on time and your team does not make it into one of any of the divisions or whatnot, please do not complain. That is completely on you for not signing up in time. But if you do want to message someone, please message Jims. So, okay, moving on. But we do have some CRL season, going forward updates that Jims does want to go over from the announcement, just to make sure we give everyone a little reminder quick. So, Jims, what do you got for us there?
So first of all, again, sign up Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, or sorry, May 7th, 3 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to sign up soon. We are not taking as many teams this time. Mike as in Shio, we learned from our mistakes of trying to stretch our signups way too thin and not having enough backups to fill in teams that end up dropping out. So we will be cutting off the signups a lot sooner than we normally would. First update is division name changes. We have the channel in our server talking about, or with everybody giving their input as to what our division names should be going into next season. Those probably won't be ready for signups, but they are. The channel's still there in our server if you want to go give your suggestions about what they should be. We wanted to kind of ego chow Activision or Treyarch as far as like what their rank play division names were, and we lost that chow for sure. Every single time we go live on Twitch, at least on match nights, it's like at least 2 or 3 people that come into the chat to say, "Oh, I'm in Crimson, I can't play." Well, no, that's not the case. So we need to do something to make it a lot less confusing. I know the names are OG. A lot of people don't want them to change. I don't want them to change, but we feel like it's necessary, at least for the duration of this game.
Yeah, we really don't have a choice, sadly. It'd be nice to keep the names, but it's kind of hard to keep the names when you, like you just said, constantly have people coming in. But it is funny watching someone come into chat and be like, "Man, I would body these players in the Diamond Division," as they're watching like Iridescence and stuff, just going on each other. It's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. But the same exact thing happened in the Halo Rec League, but luckily, like the HRL was just getting off the ground, so those division names like weren't as embedded into the community as they were for the CRL. So we were able to change them without a problem. And yeah, now we're realizing we need to do it for the CRL, unfortunately. Next update, I don't know if this is really that big of news, but we're going to be moving to a ticket system to hopefully resolve everybody's issues on match nights. We've been trying to figure out ways to get the mods a little bit more involved in match night discussions, and we think that this is the best way going forward because most new people to the league are just see like Shio admin, Jim's admin, and they message us not understanding it. Like every single mod is also capable of helping. So the mods want to get more involved. Myself and Shio want to get the mods involved as well. So hopefully a ticket system will be helping out with that. I think, and I think the next big thing is we're going to be overhauling our merch. I haven't really talked to everybody about this yet, but me and Shio are making strides to get our jerseys updated. We're moving to hopefully soon moving to Acquire, AKQUIRE. Acquire. If you haven't heard of them, I think that's how you spell their name. But getting away from like the super cheap jerseys that we have right now, it's nice that they're affordable and everybody can get one. But like you run that thing through the wash 2 times and it's going to be pretty much destroyed, or it's going to be really really washed out. So hopefully some higher quality jerseys. Going to be getting the logo done, redone finally, and going to be getting some a CRL jersey specifically and a CRL shirt, more hats, like just a lot of different stuff is going to be coming out hopefully sometime during the middle of the season is the goal.
Love to see it. More CRL merch.
Shout
Been
out
a while
merch.
since I got a CRL shirt. Kind of need to get a new one.
I'm looking for a giant CRL drop coming in. I'm ready for it.
You know those big hats baseball players wear.
Yo,
We need a big
Yeah.
CRL player hat. I'm only saying that because I know Iceberg hates those hats. So
Producer Matty Ice, how do
we
we
just
feel?
need one just to make him mad.
I hate him with a passion.
He hates
He
him with a
hates 'em
passion, he
with a
said.
passion.
They are amazing, in my opinion. Big hats. They're silly. They're goofy. What else could you ask for in a hat? Maybe not practical, but actually, if you think about it, it probably blocks more sun than a regular hat.
You know what's funny about those hats?
What?
So this is totally off topic from COD, but I'm gonna say this really quickly. The Atlanta Braves, their home run celebration was wearing those big hats in the dugout once they made their the trot around the bases. And New
I like
Era
that.
complained to the MLB about the celebration. The MLB made the Atlanta Braves stop doing it,
No.
so they're not allowed to wear the big hats anymore.
It's actually so annoying.
It's really petty.
That's a Lou Lara.
As
I got you though.
indeed a
I
Lou
got you
there.
good.
All
Alrighty.
right. Well, I mean, I'm excited to get new merch. Let's hear the next topic.
Next thing we're going to be talking about is just kind of, we're not going to really go over HRL too much here, but HRL is going to be having their playoffs. Their quarterfinals are starting this week coming up here. So that's going to be on that Wednesday and Thursday. Well, sorry, there's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday, right? Sorry. I don't know how I'm doing this every single time. Tuesday is free for all. Wednesday is is going to be mixed, and Thursday is going to be pre-made. So sorry, got that one all mixed up for literally everybody involved there. But that should be a lot of fun seeing all those divisions go at each other there. Going to have like the Challenger pre-made, uh, and then Master pre-made and Champion pre-made. So going to be a lot going on there. And then obviously mixed as well. Mixed is always going to be mixy over in every single rec league. It doesn't matter which one it is. But make sure you check out some Halo matches. Those guys would love to see some COD fans stop by and say hello. Very nice in the chat. Very nice people over there in general, whether it's the casters, the producers, you name it. Everyone will be willing to answer questions and so on in the chat if you have any.
I mean, I love the Halo FFA finals. They're always a great time. We got
They
me
are.
and CNK always casting it. I'd assume we do so again. If not, I'll be sad. But
You guys lock it down.
Hey, we got that.
yeah, we
locked.
lock it
own
down.
it.
It's
FFA
a vibey
finals are yours.
45 minutes. It is an absolutely vibey 45 minutes, and you know exactly how long it's gonna last because the game always goes to time limit. Will someone hit 60 kills this season? We will see, but that's what I'm watching out for most.
Hey, shout out the Halo free for all finals. Always a good time. I love it. It is a good time. We see some names that have been around there for a long time. Shout out Benjo Suck. Saw him like a billion times over there. But we're gonna move on over to Valorant now. So the Valo Rec, I tell you what, those guys had a banger of a season. That one just finished up here. Was it this last week? One, I mean, we had some good matches on stream. I don't know if anyone was able to catch any of them at all. I don't know. Did you guys see him at all?
I did not see them, sadly.
Okay. Well, I only was able to watch, I think, one. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was. That's the problem. Oh man. I do know that there were some really fun matches that did happen. I know a couple of them went the absolute distance, and then a couple were a little bit short because it is a best of 3 over there. So it's the first to win 2 maps in that finals. But you got to remember Valorant matches. I mean, what's a short match, Jake? Would you say like 30 minutes or like 25 minutes would be like an insanely short match if you had like
No,
a really quick one?
like a 30 to 40 minute match, you'd say it's a quick one. Obviously, 30 minutes on the shorter side. If you get a match under 30 minutes, that is like blistering speed. Like, honestly.
I think we legit had a Valo Rec finals match. Like one map went like an hour and 15 minutes or something like that.
I mean,
Like, it was
that's not even
insane.
surprising. Goes
Yeah,
OT, like that's easily hitting 114.
Right. And I know they had a good time over there in Valorant. Shout out to everyone over there having an absolute bussin' time last week. And I know Valorec is going to be starting back up here soon when it comes to signups. I just got to pull this back up and look at it so I don't get it wrong. Because if I get it wrong, Jim's is going to be very happy with me. But
What signups
next
are already
season,
live?
oh, signups are live. Everyone,
They
what are
went
we
live
doing?
on Sunday. Yes.
What are we doing? We got to get over there and get signed up. Valorec season 3 is going to be starting soon. So you got to be ready for that. Jims, I know you're going to be signing up, right?
No.
What?
Not-
He's going to be filling in for people again whenever they need somebody.
probably.
Emergency. I don't even think I'm playing this season. Dapper, is your squad playing this season? Is Matty Ice going to carry you on over
We
in
are
Valor Rec?
not. So
What?
Matt decided to leave us, in the dust.
No.
He
Fair
had
enough. Fair
bigger
enough.
things to
I'd leave you too.
pursue,
He
like
does have better things
production.
to do, like CRL production to make
Yeah.
money.
So we
Yes.
could
See you.
not we
Cash?
could not find a fifth person to replace and a reliable sub. So we decided to scratch this season pre-mid. Why not? So I'm
Wow,
taking
This-
my talents to CS:GO,
that's crazy.
Oh man.
and I will. I'm going to continue playing Halo. That's what I'm doing.
CS:GO 2 Rec League 1.
James.
I'm just kidding.
No comment.
Hey, Valorant is definitely a fun time. So if you are interested in playing in Valorant, make sure you go sign up real quick, whether that be mixed. If you want to just give it a go, mixed is probably a really good spot to sign up. It's gonna be tough, but it is tough matchups there over in mixed. But pre-made definitely a very fun time. Can confirm played in pre-made here the last 2 seasons. It's been very fun. But we are gonna be moving on now. We got a bit more going on for you. We're gonna talk about the CDL, kind of some CDL things kind of going on. Anyone got anything they want to talk about in particular? Maybe the Boston roster change.
Well, I feel like that's really the only thing there is to talk about
That's
currently. Obviously, there's matches this week. We will talk about those real quick, I'm sure, after this. But I mean, really, the biggest thing of news that's happened since the major has been that Boston has dropped Nero Poison and picked up Reese Vivid yet again. So they drop Reese Vivid once they pick up Kremp. And then after that, they bring in Vivid back, which I feel like, I mean, Bobby's got questions. I don't know if you can see that on the stream. Bobby's got question marks about the situation. But I mean, me personally, I wouldn't say I was surprised by this. I feel like this is maybe a move that everybody was like, yeah, they should probably do this, but nobody really thought they were going to do it. I feel like Reese Vivid probably fits Kremp a little bit better than Nero does. I won't lie.
I know a lot of pros were talking about it, whether that be on Twitter or seeing just a couple clips going around from them talking about it on Twitch. Just kind of saying the way that Vivid plays versus Nero is a lot more structured, and so it's easier for whether that be newer players or just other players on the team in general to play around him. It's a little bit less of a wild play style, so that could be probably obviously a big part of it when it comes to the coaching side of things. I can imagine when they decided to make the change.
And
Well, I think go ahead.
you also gotta look at it in a different perspective too, because like many people are saying, "Oh, why didn't they just drop Kremp and pick and just put Vivid in his place?" I'm like, they already tried that. Okay, if they tried it once and it didn't work, why would they go back and try it again and hope for different results? I
Hey,
mean,
but also
that's kind of
in
not how it works.
in fairness, Kremp has been an absolute demon though. Like that
Exactly.
guy, I feel like you're not going to want to drop Kremp. You want to keep him around.
And you're not gonna switch out Beans or Big Wake for Vivid, because I mean that's just stupid. So realistically, the only change they could possibly make is Vivid and Nero, which they did. And obviously, they didn't drop Nero for his skill because he's a good player. Like it could just be like a team comp thing. Like maybe they didn't mesh well together, or their play styles, just weren't mixing well. Maybe Vivid is the change they needed to make to start winning some more games and secure the champs, not chumps. Champs. And I mean, we'll see how that goes once matches start up. I mean, look in the comments. You got some CRL casters, producers, members. Not very happy. At least like you said, Bobby with the questions. T Morg with the big wake and the headlock. And then you got Cover, who is one of the head honchos on the Boston Burgers over there. Parent org, what are you doing? I mean, just explain. Hopefully you are here listening.
Well,
But
I think. Oh, you finished, sorry.
like, I don't see them dropping Big Wake. I mean, he's a great player. Beans. I mean, who could they switch out Beans for? I mean,
I mean, I think in my opinion, like the whole move comes from the fact where it's like, okay, we're really late into the season. There's not really anybody new that we could pick up. Like, there's not really many options at the AR position, especially. I mean, you got Beans, you got Awakening. Maybe they're feeling comfortable with each other. I feel like the SMGs have always been like kind of the focus on this team. It's like, oh, we had Nero and Reese Vivid. They're both good. Doesn't really work out. They placed like pretty good with that team. They looked solid, and then they add Kremp to the roster, and everyone's like, okay, this guy Kremp is pretty gross. But the team placed worse yeah, they played Optic in Toronto, but you would have hoped like maybe they would have been able to take down one of those top dogs by now. So I don't think bringing in Reese Vivid is like too like surprise. I mean, to me, it's not that much of a surprise. I think like Kremp looks amazing, and I think Reese Vivid like I think Nero and Kremp almost play the same in a way. I'd say like Nero is a faster Kremp. It's like they're looking for kills. They're trying to like exploit holes in the map, and Vivid's just going to be that player that runs at you and applies pressure. So it's a lot more like it's a lot more easier to understand as an SMG duo than your SMG duo might be anywhere if you're teaming with Nero or Kremp. But if you're Kremp, you know exactly where Vivid's probably going to be at all times. Forward.
Keep moving forward, right?
Me personally, I just think they're just throwing darts at the dartboard, trying to see if something sticks,
Yeah,
trying to get a bullseye.
they don't really have a choice, right? I think what they're doing is essentially just trying to get their best placement this year they can going into champs, but they're gonna. I was just gonna say they're gonna probably try to rebuild going into the offseason, but like according to like what teams have contracts for like what players, like everybody's contracted. There's like one team that they're losing like 2 players.
Yeah, no, they can't really go try to make a move for somebody, but I don't think this move really changes anything for them.
Mhm.
I think they have unlimited talent. There's no question that those guys can get 1,000,001 kills, but they need to figure out how to play the game right. I also think that they're overreacting a little bit to a top 12 placing that they didn't really deserve. I think Boston's realistically like a top 6 team, no matter what iteration of the roster you put in, and they just got an absolutely horrible draw going into the major. You
Yeah,
could
they
not
did.
get a more worse draw.
pretty unlucky out of them, if I may say. I mean, yeah, Optic then Toronto. I mean, like that's so
You got the
bad luck, man.
one seed major favorites, and then you go into the major 3 winners who just had a bad online qualifier.
Well, I mean, what you can say is they'll get a good look at how their roster stacks up against the middle level of the competition on Saturday, May 6th, when they match up against the Minnesota Rocker. That's going to be their first matchup of the
No.
season. And I mean, I think Boston's going to win that for sure.
Yeah,
Also,
I
can't
think so
forget
too.
that's gonna be a land match.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
No, actually, yeah, okay, you know it is. That's right. It's gonna be the one in Minneapolis. That's right.
Yes,
I
And
do
guess
remember
who
that.
won't
because
be
they're
there?
played twice that day.
Who?
yeah, Rocker plays twice.
Who's not gonna be there,
Guess,
Jim?
guess who won't be there?
Who, James?
CNK.
I could get tickets right now. Okay, VIP tickets are
Do
only
it.
$200.
Do it.
I think. Actually.
200?
Yeah, a regular like general admission's like $10.
What? Wait, what's the difference with the VIP? What do you
Yep.
get?
Yep. No, you get like a
Hmm.
special seating area. You get a hoodie and like a couple other things. So like really, you're
That's
paying
it?
for like the hoodie yeah. And then there's
I
like an
re-
extra VIP spot that comes with like an open bar that's like an extra like $100 or something like that. Which, for the record, in the Midwest is like we're gonna buy that. So
I remember
yeah.
back in MW19 when we went to the Atlanta event. We had the regular general admission tickets, which were like maybe like $60-$70. While we were there, I upgraded to the VIP tickets for like an extra like I think it was an extra 100. And I mean, you got everything. You got bags, lanyards, keychains, hoodies, shirts. Um, I think like 3 different hats, if I'm not mistaken. You also got to meet. I want to say it was Lil Uzi Vert there too.
What?
Yeah.
That is so
That's actually
random.
insane. That is definitely $100 value right there.
I mean,
You also
yes.
got to meet like other people like Nick Merckx, and there were other people there who I have no idea who they are.
Shout out the M fam.
I remember I sat down back at our seats, and I looked over at Iceberg and Hyped, who was also there with us. I'm like, who are these guys? Because I may be an Atlanta FaZe fan, but I am not a fan of FaZe. I'm a fan of Atlanta FaZe because they are in Georgia. I am from Georgia, therefore I go for the Georgia team. It's been like that since MW19.
You should also mention when you got into competitive COD.
Yeah, so I got into competitive COD. You're like the midway tail end of Black Ops 4. So I remember when they announced franchising, Atlanta was getting a team. So I was like, okay, Atlanta's getting a team. That's my team. And they announced their rumored roster, and I was like, yo, Iceberg, Matt, who are these guys? Can you give me like the breakdown of these players here? And he's like, yeah, see these two guys? They just won champs on the United. I was like, okay, cool, we're good.
Literally just built a God Squad year one.
Yeah,
Turns out they're a dynasty. No one knew yet.
You got
exactly.
blessed.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we might as
Oh,
well go
I'm-
over some of these predictions while we got a chance here. But that Friday matchups are going to be definitely a fun one. LA Gorillas versus FaZe. We all know how that's
3-0.
going to go down. LA
3-0.
Gorillas
3-1.
winning 3-0. I'm kidding, of course. So, yeah, but FaZe probably going to win 3-0, 3-1, somewhere in there. FaZe obviously online. See how that goes. Slasher land buff is real. Online buff definitely real. I don't, yeah.
Sorry, no,
Online buff
you got it wrong.
is
It's
definitely not there.
it's a slasher debuff online.
It's
That's
definitely
what I
so
said.
not
I
there.
said,
LAG
I
at least-
said, I said land buff, online debuff.
I didn't hear debuff.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Online
It's a
debuff is
slasher
definitely
online
real.
debuff. So LAG will at least get one map. They'll get something.
As much as I want to love Slasher, I am very, very critical of players of teams I'm a fan of.
Bruh,
Like I said, you can ask Iceberg. I complain so much about the
Dude,
Braves.
Slasher is like he's insane. Like he is insane. Like he is a good player. He's probably good for this team. He's probably not the exact player they need in the position or two who should have replaced Arcides, but like it's who they got. He is a really good player. He's one of like the best ARs of all time, like in COD. Like he's up there for sure. So I mean, yeah. I mean, he's always going to bring it on land, but the argument is always going to be like this is a team that should succeed like 5-0 like every single week online and dominate at lands getting top 3 every single like time. Like definitely what they should be doing. Maybe not 5-0, but you know what I mean? Like winning guaranteed winning 3 or 4 matches every single week.
Mhm.
Week, not week,
Sure.
but every single like qualifier.
I feel like the 3 matches I got circled when I'm looking at this week is I feel like obviously the Optic versus FaZe match. That's going to be a good one. We all know how that goes. The Slasher debuff also applies there. Maybe the Shotzi buff. But the 2 matches I'm curious about is those 2 Toronto matches. We got Toronto versus Surge, Toronto versus LAT. This is kind of the opportunity for Toronto to prove themselves again online. Obviously, they had kind of a good showing at Major 4, but I feel like to start the Major 5, getting at least one of these 2 matches a W and making both of them close at the bare minimum would be huge for them.
I mean, that's a big shot right there. Toronto versus Surge is going to be a good one because both those teams need a win right now, right? Because both those teams kind of had a
Absolutely.
poor performance at the previous major. So Seattle obviously needs to bounce back, get a nice victory against Toronto, but Toronto needs to prove they really are that top 3 team that can beat down on everybody else, right? And we know they're a great team because they won a major. We know how talented this team is. Like the expectation is really like just kind of like FaZe, where it's like you expect this team to go and get top 3 after how they've been playing previously in the season, but the one I'm curious about is the LA Thieves one because LA Thieves really is the best team in the game right now. Like they're up against the best team in the game. It's going to be very important for Toronto, but it's probably also going to be important for Thieves to just kind of like immediately just bounce back. I say bounce back, but come right off the major they just won and just shut down a team that is considered to be a top team right away, and just like once again prove they just are the top dogs.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna be an absolutely fantastic set of matches this week. But is there any other topics we have to discuss before we wrap up this podcast? Because I mean, we've been going on for quite a long time, haven't we, boys? We've been
Yeah,
talking.
definitely have hit that basically maximum amount of time we can here. So
I think we're forgetting a very important topic
What's the topic?
concerning one of our moderators, Dak.
2 of our moderators.
Oh,
oh
2
well,
of our moderators.
Dapper, spill the beans.
oh, Dapper, spill the beans.
I don't think Davers really knows what's going on.
Spill the
Jim,
beans.
you
Okay,
spilled the
well,
Spill those beans.
Come on,
see,
Jim.
I know, but I don't think anybody else knows. Jims, can you refresh your minds real quick?
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's
That's fair.
there's a little local land going on in Fort Collins, Colorado. I believe it's just south of Denver. A team of what was the team last time? It was Dak, Morph, Zaya,
and Kai.
and
Oh wait, no.
Kai.
It was Ozai and Zaya.
Was it?
Dak, Morph, Ozai, Zaya.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, whatever. So this Contender
Alex.
Foco or Fort Collins is hosting another LAN. And send at least covering the team pass and sending them with jerseys there. So they will be running. So let's see, it's Dak, Morph, Zenny, and Zaya are going. That's right, it's Alex, Zach. Sorry, now I'm so confused. Dak, Kilrook, Zenny, and Zaya are going to be running under Denver Surrender for Fort Collins.
The squad right there. What jerseys they
Absolute
rocking,
squad.
huh?
Denver Surrender.
Oh, you probably literally just said that. I somehow didn't hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're running. They are running.
No Green
under,
Bay Goats? What the heck?
I mean, make sure to tune into that. If you didn't last time, there was a lot of CRL support in the chat, and we want to give our boys the love. I mean, you know what's going on. You know they're you know that they are peeping the stream chat in between maps to see if anybody's like gassing them or like saying anything. So if you see them on stream at I think it's like CES Fort Collins, make sure to gas them up, give the boys some love. I'm sure they'll love it. And you gotta, I mean, they're all rec league boys. I mean, obviously except for Zaya, but we all know Zaya over on like the diamond side. He's a great guy. So show your love to the boys. They're gonna have a great time this weekend. I believe in them.
Alrighty, but outside of that, I do believe we are going to be wrapping up the podcast. Thank you for tuning into this one. We will have another one next week at the same time. It is going to be live on the Twitch once again as well, Monday at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time there, 8 p.m. that is. Right? Don't show up at 8 a.m. We won't be there. But we do have some great matches coming up this week, so make sure you check those out the next couple days here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll be having those Bravo matches every single day, so check those out. But that's going to be it for us tonight. You guys have a fantastic night, and we'll see you around.